Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we're breaking down the Senate confirmation hearing for Pam Bondi, President Trump's pick for Attorney General, and some of the key moments that you might have missed but are crucial to understanding what's at stake. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a deep dive like this.
Senator Graham.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Forgot to say that John's family was from South Carolina.
The upstate, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'll give you a pass on that. From Anderson, by the way. So, listen, President Trump asked a bunch of us, who would you pick for Attorney General? How many of you got asked that on our side? Probably didn't ask Dick, but he asked me. I said Pam Bondi. That's like an easy decision. I couldn't think of anybody more qualified that he knew, that he trusted. And it's okay to have, you were his lawyer, right?
Yes, sir. I represented him when they tried to impeach him the first time as part of White House Counsel, Office of Special Counsel.
Being Trump's lawyer prepares you for many things. So, yeah, you have a longstanding relationship with the president. He trusts you. That's a good thing. That's probably why President Kennedy picked his brother, Bobby Kennedy. I guess you can say no to your older brother. I'm sure he would. But this idea there's something bad is ridiculous. Who do you pick? You pick people you know. You pick people you trust, people that you're qualified. I'm glad he picked you. He knows you, he trusts you, and you're highly qualified. So the idea that there's something wrong with that is just absolutely ridiculous. So let's talk about the job you're about to have here. Do you support making certain drug cartels in Mexico foreign terrorist organizations?
Senator, I personally went to Mexico. I personally dealt with these cartels when I was a state prosecutor, and they are a grave and violent threat to our country. Yes, Senator.
Advising the president. Good, good. Now, when it comes to Crossfire Hurricane, are those days over if you're Attorney General?
Absolutely.
Okay. Lake and Riley, are you familiar with that case?
Sadly, I am, Senator Graham.
Do you know why the man who killed her was released from custody? He was paroled to the detention capacity at the Central Processing Center in El Paso, Texas. Now, that's not your call. You'll be DOJ. But do you agree with me that the statute regarding parole doesn't allow parole to be based on we don't have detention beds? There's nothing in that statute would authorize parole based on lack of capacity. Are you familiar with that statute?
Yes, sir, and that's frightening.
Yeah, well, it is frightening. Are you going to fix it?
I am going to do everything in my power to fix it if confirmed as Attorney General.
You're going to advise President Trump we need more beds. Tom Homan's the guy that's going to do this, but would you as Attorney General say we need more bed space so Lake and Riley never happens again?
Senator, my job, if confirmed as Attorney General, will be to keep America safe.
Do you think we need more detention space?
And that includes having enough space for violent criminals, for people that should not be in this country who have committed violent crimes. And Lake and Riley is one of many.
Yeah. But 41,000 beds in this country to detain people. We got like millions of people here illegally. We let this dude go because we didn't have any place to put him. I hope those days are over. And if, Tom, you're listening out there, I hope you'll create enough detention space to make sure we don't find this dilemma ever again. Do you think we're at war? And if so, who with?
Oh, Senator, we're at war on so many fronts.
Are we at war with ISIS?
Of course, we're at war with ISIS.
They're at war with us. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely, Senator.
Do you think since our withdrawal from Afghanistan, threats to our homeland have gone up from ISIS?
Yes.
Okay, March 7th, 2024, General Corella. I assess ISIS-K retains the capability and will to attack the U.S. and Western interests abroad in as little as 6 months with little or no warning. That's March of 2024. General McKenzie. ISIS-K has a strong desire to attack the United States after it began to grow in Afghanistan following U.S. exit in August 2021. He also stated the threat to ISIS-K from ISIS-K is growing. Major General Quantock, the U.S. remains target number one for ISIS-K. Do you agree with that?
Senator, I don't have my security clearance, but from everything I've read and heard, ISIS is one of the greatest threats.
Okay, well, when you get your security clearance, you're going to find out these people are coming after us and they want to kill us. So I would like to have a strategy to deal with the ISIS threat that's beyond just the law enforcement model. Does that make sense to you, that we should use every tool in the toolbox?
Senator, that includes wrapping in our state and local officials too, and better cooperation throughout our country and our world.
I totally agree. Do you support reauthorizing FISA in 2025?
Senator, I believe 702 is up in 2026.
Okay, I'm
I
sorry,
believe it's
26.
2026, and we will closely be looking at that. FISA is a very
Do you
important
agree
tool.
that the 702 provides important intel gathering capability to protect our nation?
Extremely important.
Okay. So, Pam, you're about to step into a job that's one of the most important jobs in any democracy. Let's go back to pardons. If I'm a lawyer for somebody in jail, would you promise to listen to the application and read it before you made a decision?
Yes.
Okay. No matter who you are. Good. That's the way it works. People want to bargain with you up here. Will you do this? Will you do that? All I ask you to do is call it as you see it, hire good, competent people, and give the president the best legal advice you can, run the Department of Justice in a manner that other people would want to join it one day. Growing up, I had a fondness for the FBI. I watched the show, I think it's every Sunday, wanted to be an FBI agent. Right now, the FBI needs an image overhaul. So you have a real task ahead of you in two areas: to restore trust to many Americans who have lost trust in the Department of Justice, and to make sure that this country is safe from drug cartels that are killing 3,000 Americans every 2 weeks for money, to go after these people and to protect our homeland that's under siege. I think you're the perfect pick at one of the most dangerous times in American history, and I look forward to supporting you.
Thank you.
Senator Lindsey Graham opened the hearing with an emphatic endorsement of Bondi, noting her long-standing relationship with the president. He emphasized that trust and experience matter when picking someone for such a high-profile position. Now, this isn't just political fluff. Choosing an attorney general isn't about picking someone who is a stranger to the administration. It's about picking someone who understands the legal landscape, has proven experience, and can advise the president on complex legal matters. Graham drew a parallel to historical precedents, like President Kennedy appointing his brother, Bobby Kennedy, as attorney general. The point being, the trust factor isn't a scandal, it's practical governance. Bondi herself highlighted her legal background, including representing President Trump during his first impeachment. This kind of experience is important because it shows she's familiar with high-stakes legal challenges that affect the executive branch. She made it clear that her role would be to uphold the law while providing sound legal advice to the president. The hearing then pivoted to security and law enforcement issues, specifically addressing drug cartels in Mexico. Bondi was clear that these organizations pose a serious and violent threat to the United States. She even drew on her time as a state prosecutor to explain that this isn't just a political talking point, it's a real-world threat that requires coordination between federal and international law enforcement. One of the most significant parts of the hearing focused on the so-called Laken-Riley case, which raised serious questions about parole statutes and detention capacity in the U.S. Bondi acknowledged that the statute, as it stands, doesn't allow parole decisions to be based on the availability of detention beds, and she described the current system as frightening. She made a commitment to fix these gaps if confirmed as Attorney General, highlighting the need for more detention space to prevent violent criminals from being released due to administrative limitations. This brings up a larger, often overlooked point about the justice system. It's not just about prosecuting crime, it's about having the infrastructure to support the law. Without enough detention space, even those convicted of serious crimes can end up back on the streets, creating a cycle that's dangerous for communities. Bondi's comments highlight a systemic issue that affects every state, and it's a reminder that law enforcement requires both legal expertise and logistical planning. Finally, the hearing touched briefly on political controversies like Crossfire Hurricane, with Bondi making it clear that those investigations are behind us, and her focus would be on moving forward to protect American citizens. So what does this all mean for the country? The confirmation of Pam Bondi could signal a stronger focus on border security, stricter enforcement against violent criminals, and ensuring that federal laws are applied effectively. But it also brings up the ongoing debate about political trust versus independence in legal appointments. If you want to stay informed about how these hearings impact your daily life and understand the legal and political nuances behind the headlines, make sure to subscribe. We break down these complex topics so you don't just watch the news, you understand it. Stay tuned because the confirmation process isn't just about the person, it's about shaping the future of law enforcement and justice in America. Subscribe to stay updated, and we'll continue covering these hearings with context, analysis, and real-world implications.